The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. What's up? How are you guys doing? Okay, did you listen to my interview with Jeremy? J Slay USA? Dude's got a good moniker. All right, if you did not, I was going to talk about the ending, but you know what? I'm not going to do it today. But if you did not get a chance to listen to Tuesday's interview with Jeremy or Monday's episode, I thought Monday's episode was really good too. But give those a listen, and maybe on Friday I'll go over it a little more. But I think I am on to something. Well, I have to give Jeremy the credit, but I think we are on to something. And honestly, the reason I want to sort of dive deeper into this is because I think it's going to matter, man. I think it's going to matter. And I think it's going to matter in all of your lives, to be honest with you, and for the next 4 years. And part of it also is like, I think Make America Healthy Again is dead on arrival. I seriously do. I don't have any confidence that that's going to accomplish anything. I really don't. And again, more on this later, but you know, I group it under the same category and bucket as, you know, look at the Epstein files. Look at how much they hyped the release of the Epstein files. And here we are already in April, 2 full months into the Trump administration, and nothing besides a bunch of excuses. Seriously, I'd really ask everybody to put away anything, actually, because I think right now, more than anything, we've got to rally as, I mean, this is going to sound cheesy, but we've got to rally as Americans. Like strip away your wherever you were born, strip away your religion. Definitely strip away your religion. Any religion whatsoever, strip it away. Any loyalty to any other country, strip it away. Any loyalty to a political party, strip it away. And let's just be literally people that care about one another and care about the United States of America. And I'm telling you, man, there's something going on, and we're gonna try to get to the bottom of it. Seriously, I think what Jeremy talked about, and then what I'm seeing play out with MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, which is like completely disappeared and it's nowhere to be found. And like, not to get into that too much, but think about it. You think big pharma's going down without a fight? You think big agriculture is going down without a fight? You think big tech is going down without a fight? And you think the people that sit on top of big pharma, big agriculture, and big tech, and big every other category are going down without a fight? They're not. They're not. It's not going to be that easy. I don't even know if it's possible. I really don't. I've kind of lost a little bit of faith. I mean, I hate to say it, but I've pretty much completely lost faith in this administration. I don't even know where this is going. I really don't. I mean, I think maybe on one side, I'm hoping for obviously a better economy and a better, standard of living for everybody. And we'll probably get that. I mean, I think there's going to be some pain we're going to go through to get there, but I do think it is needed to get there, or else, Trump's going to be viewed as a complete failure. So anyway, all right, more to come on all that. Couple things before I maybe play a clip or two is, there's a lot of talk on Trump and a third term, and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. I don't like Steve Bannon, who is like a very outspoken, it's funny, just when I started liking some of the things that Steve Bannon talks about, because he's very critical of Elon Musk, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I like it. I actually like when there's infighting in the same team. I think that's healthy. I really do. I think that's healthy, and I like that. So just when I was starting to like Steve Bannon, all of a sudden now he is like one of the main people beating the drum about a third term for Trump. And then Trump was asked that the other day. Here, give this a listen.
You were allowed, for some reason, to run for a third term. Is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to do a fantastic job. We have 4 years, just about, almost close to 4 years. Time is flying, but it's still close to 4 years. And we're getting a lot of credit for having done a great job in the first almost 100 days.
I get annoyed when he toots his own horn with everything. It's actually really annoying. You're not getting a lot of credit for doing an amazing job because, there are some good things you're doing. I'll give you that. And again, this is coming from a guy who voted for him. But there's a lot of good things you're not doing, or there's a lot of bad things you're doing. Anyway, I'm not a fan of that. Now, I'm not a fan of this third term talk, right? Trump versus Obama, that is definitely an interesting race. Man, that would seriously be a battle. That would seriously be a battle because I can't think of two more politicians or maybe even human beings that have such loyalty among the people that love them. The Trumpers love Trump, and man, the people that love Obama incredibly. So anyway, I ran a couple polls on Instagram. With that video, I put 2028 Trump versus Obama. Are you okay with this? And I had 215 responses. No, that's not that many, but that's not bad. And 15% said yes, as long as they both run. And then 85% said no, this is unconstitutional regardless. Let me see if there's any funny comments. All right, no, nothing really. Okay, and then I ran a mock election. And I did it kind of in two places. I did it on the Deep Shallow Dive Instagram and then my personal Instagram as a story. I definitely have two. I've got two audiences, I think. That's funny. Okay, so on the Deep Shallow Dive page, it said 2028 mock election. Please vote Trump, Obama. Now, those were the only two choices I gave for this. Now, here you got 81% for Obama. Wow, he killed him. 19% for Trump. That is interesting. And then there's a few people that are like, vote 1776. It's not constitutional. I should have put that in that choice as well, but I forgot. But when I ran it as a story, and again, this is the Deep Shallow Dive Instagram page. Same thing, but I did have Trump, Obama, and then neither. It's unconstitutional. This one was 7% to Trump, 21% to Obama, and then 71% unconstitutional. Okay, that was legit people showing up for the unconstitutional. Now, let me go to my personal page. My personal page, it's funny, man. The Deep Shallow Dive page definitely, well, I guess this makes sense because, in all honesty, I have posted a lot of like Gaza-related stuff on that page. And so I do think it skews maybe a little, I don't know. Yeah, no, it definitely does. It skews maybe Democrat, liberal, leftist. Remember the Greg Stoker definitions? Remember, leftist is Bernie Sanders. Liberal is Obama, Hillary, Biden, Kamala, pretty much everybody else. All right, on my personal Instagram page, now I think I have more balanced group of people on my personal page. My personal page is pretty much just my friends, whereas, obviously the Deep Shallow Dive Instagram is the fan base. The fan base. I don't think I really have any fans, but anyway, it's gotten, man, it's zesty there. 126,000. It's definitely zesty. Okay, so on my personal page, it is 42% Trump, 23% Obama, and then 35% it's unconstitutional. So anyway, interesting. I wanted to share those results. My take, it's unconstitutional. We can't go this route. I wrote this on a post. We just can't. If we do this, we might as well pronounce the L in salmon. We might as well start calling it salmon. Seriously, what's next, man? Give a president 3 terms, pronounce salmon. I don't know. I don't think it's good. Anyway, all right, so that is that. Not a fan of this 3-term talk. And I will say this, if Trump and anyone on that side starts to get really serious about it, I don't like that. And I think that's going to backfire against them, especially if they somehow try to, there's no way they would do this. And what I mean is there's no way they would try to say it's okay for Trump to run for a 3rd term, but it's not okay for Obama to run for a 3rd term. I don't think they would do that. Will they try to do something to allow both of those guys to run? I don't know, man. I don't know. But again, for the record, I am not a fan of that idea. I do not support it at all. All right, next topic. I wanted to share this. My friend Catherine, I've talked about her before. She used to go by Scoop. She hasn't sent me that many scoops lately, though. So I'm going to, you know what, Catherine? I'm sorry. I'm taking that nickname away from you. That goes to, maybe that'll be a nickname that goes to the person that is sending me the most good stuff, and it'll be kind of a thing that moves from one person to another. I think that is the case. Anyway, I sent her this, and she is a Christian, and I know she won't mind me sharing this, but she's a true Christian. She's a real Christian, and what I mean by that is, she's a really believer and follower of Jesus Christ. I honestly liken her to like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson in terms of the way they think about the various things that are going on in the world from a Christian point of view. Okay. I guess Jay Slay USA kind of falls into that category as well, but she had sent me something, and you guys might have seen this, but it was a video that was going around where it was this kid here. Let me see if I can play it.
To ask you if it would be okay. I brought my dad with me. He's a pastor, and I just thought if it's okay with you, I would love for him to say a prayer for you as well, for your protection.
Sure. Thank you.
Elon, well, thank you so much for everything you've done for our country. We do love you very much.
Thank you.
And as a pastor, but just as a person, right? And even if I wasn't a Christian, and I know not everyone here is a Christian, but I think there's quite a few of you here and who are. Either way, we love all people. That's not the issue. The issue is fairness, what you're talking about. The issue being just. And the justice being a weapon instead of lawfare, instead of actually just and all this corruption you're talking about. And that's a bad spirit, if you want to say it that way, putting it nicely. It's something evil that has come against our country, our morals, our families, etc. And then you and the president and others getting attacked with this outrage and this hate. So if you would, allow me to pray.
Thank you.
If you'd all who want to, please join me, bow our heads and pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we are thankful.
So that was in Wisconsin, and again, there's a reason I'm playing all this stuff, and there's a reason I'm talking all this stuff. And again, we're not going to cover everything today in this episode, but it is going to be a little bit of a theme because I think it's important. I mean, I think it's like ridiculously important because I think that there's going to be major shakeups that happen. And again, I'll get into more later. And I'm not trying to be all dramatic or anything. I'm really not. But so what you're seeing there is this group of Christians, really basically just worshiping Elon and Trump. And again, I guess there's going to be Elon worship syndrome and Elon derangement syndrome. Maybe also, obviously you've seen what's been taking place with like people setting fire to Teslas and Tesla charging stations. Tesla and obviously Elon himself, all of the sudden, this dude, he's got a gigantic group of people that have Elon worship syndrome, and then a gigantic group that obviously have Elon derangement syndrome. Although, man, this is going to sound funny. I could almost understand the Elon derangement a little more than the Trump derangement. Although, I'm telling you, man, Trump's a different dude. Trump 2025 is a different human being. Something happened. And if you listened to the episode with Jeremy, he nailed it at the end of that episode. And I'll bring this in on Friday. Actually, you know what? To not make you guys wait in suspense, I'll try to close the loop on kind of what I'm talking about today on Friday's episode. But it's a different dude. He's a different guy. He's not the same Trump. RFK Jr. is not the same RFK Jr., although I think his change wasn't anything suddenly, and we'll talk all about that on Friday as well. But I think there's something at play there also big time. And anyway, I wanted to play that because she sent me, and I'm talking about Catherine. I don't know if she listens anymore, actually. It'll be interesting to see if she sends me a note. Whenever I talk about people, obviously, if they're listening, I'll get something that next day. They'll be like, oh, thanks for mentioning me or something. And then if they don't send me anything, I know that they are not listening anymore, which is totally fine. But anyway, so actually what I do love about Catherine is even though she is a Christian and she did vote for Trump, and again, I mean, anybody that's friends with her on social media knows that, so I'm not saying anything that is a secret. But so she sent me that clip, okay, of the Elon and the son and the dad and all that. And then I looked on social media and man, that thing was like everywhere. And so all the people on the conservative side were like, this is so powerful. This is so amazing. Look at the power, da, da, da. And even the person that posted it was like, wow, a pastor chillingly prays over Elon Musk, the richest man on earth, in front of hundreds at his Wisconsin rally. This is powerful. Jesus is Lord. So I DM'd her and I said, hey, honest question. Elon has 13 kids across many women out of wedlock. How does he remotely embody Christian values? I'm not trying to be snarky. I honestly want you to help me understand this. And she wrote back, he doesn't. We don't need every person to be, quote, on our team, unquote. We need people to mess up the one party government enrichment racket that has been going on for 100 years. So we pray for people in power. We are encouraged to pray for every president. And then she did say, I will confess to you right now, I did not pray for Barack Obama and Biden, with 3 laughing faces. Now, again, to call a spade on my dear friend, I mean, that's pretty contradictory right there. I mean, seriously, to call a spade, it's like selective. That's selective praying for people in power. I mean, if you're encouraged to pray for every president, you really should pray for every president. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And then my reply to her was, God, I hate to say it, But I think these guys literally now are doing the same exact thing. Maybe they started out wanting to do exactly what you said, but Trump, Elon, RFK Jr., all are falling in line. They are going to just create their own version and enrich their crew. I'm seeing it pretty clearly now. All right, so yeah, I wanted to share that because I think it's important, and there's a whole nother aspect to all this. And the religious stuff, man, it is starting to cause havoc, and I think it's by design, man. I will tell you guys, religion, I mean, you guys know I'm not an organized religion person, but man, it's insane how devout people are to their religion. And I know this because I've been running a bunch of Instagram, Facebook, YouTube live sessions. And honestly, what I've been doing is, I mean, don't tell these people this, but they're not live. It's kind of like faux live. But the interviews that I've had, like, for example, the interview with Jeremy, we ran that as a Instagram live. I just ran an interview with the Dowd brothers. These are actually, I'm going to play this for you guys, maybe next week, maybe Friday even. No, probably next week. Well, maybe Friday. You know what? I might run this interview Friday, or I'll do the talking on Friday, and then I'll run this interview on Monday. But these two brothers, they're from Ohio. They went to Ohio State, but they're Palestinian-Americans, and one of them was in the army for 4 years. And so it's really cool because, again, I mean, they're relatable. They don't have accents. And by the way, this is like so not racist the way I say this, but our society will twist this into me being racist. But the reason I wanted to bring these brothers on is because they don't have accents. They're from Ohio. They sound exactly like me. They went to Ohio State. One of them served in the army, and the other one, Bilal, he's in cybersecurity. He's got a great career in cybersecurity. Muhammad, his name is Muhammad, served in the United States Army for 4 years. But these guys they're no different than you and I. You know what I mean? They're no different than the rest of us. And I like having people that sound like everybody else because, honestly, man, this is just real talk. Like, when you try to have conversations with people and all of a sudden you say, hey, listen to this clip, and it's like some brown dude with an accent. I mean, some people shut down. And I'll be very honest, I have a bunch of different group texts going with a variety of friends, and I'm going to say this because I know he's not listening. I'm not going to say who it is, but in one of my group texts and it's with I'm not going to say because actually, man, I have too many friends who listen, so I can't give away too many clues because then it's like Inspector. People start going in a detective mode, and I get text messages. They're like, were you talking about so-and-so? Were you talking about so-and-so? So I'm not going to give you clues, but what I will say is this friend of mine is probably one of my most successful friends career-wise and financially. And he's done incredibly, incredibly well. I'm talking like multiple 7-figure, like ridiculously well, right? And I'll be honest, he is completely ignorant about this geopolitical stuff. And we've been having these discussions, quite frankly, for 4 years now. But recently, it's taken a real turn for the worse. And it's because he's a Trump supporter. Again, I mean, we've been relatively aligned on that over the past many years. But I don't have Trump worship syndrome, and he does. And so what I'm going to talk about on Friday, and really, honestly, what I've been talking about a bunch is he just can't see any of it. He cannot see any of it. Sees any of it? Can't seize. He doesn't see any of it. And honestly, it's caused a, I mean, I don't think he really realizes it. Maybe he does, but you know, I mean, it's caused a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to say riff, because again, I try not to do that. I really don't. I really do actually. But it's definitely caused me to lose a little bit of respect for him. And I'm not going to lie. And this is like someone I hold in incredibly high regard. But because they're just so black and white about this stuff that I find it insane. Like, I find it insane that, like, after all of our discussions, you know, you literally, your muscle memory literally snaps back and it's like, Muslims are terrorists. And he didn't say that. And again, I don't care. I'm not a practicing Muslim. I could care less if that's what you think. I really could care. I really couldn't care less. But I'll tell you, I don't even know what that's supposed to sound like, or the right. I'll have to look that up. Oh my God, I just discombobulated myself. I'll tell you what I do care about is I care when I invest time in you as a friend. And I invest sharing my perspective with you in a unbelievably respectful manner. Always. I always am. I honestly, I don't think I've ever lost my cool with any friends of mine. What does bother me though is like, it's like, oh my God, years of that and really trying to be methodical about helping him understand these bigger picture theories, because he genuinely was interested, and getting it to where, you know, we made so many breakthroughs in terms of, you know, questioning 9/11, questioning the forever wars, questioning 20 years in Afghanistan, 20 years in Iraq. Again, how do you not look at us making the Taliban the enemy, kicking them out, spending 20 years pillaging Afghanistan, Iraq, trillions of your taxpayer dollars, millions of innocent lives, and at the end of it all, in 2021, what did we do? We gave it right back to the Taliban. The Taliban is in charge in Afghanistan now. You know, how do you square that? I just don't get it. Like, that to me is the best example that we can use for hindsight being 2020 to try and not make the same mistakes again. Anyway, long story short, I've just been very disappointed, and you know, I've kind of decided to not initiate anything in that group thread anymore unless they initiate it. If they initiate it, I'll see what it is. I'll get back. But, you know, for me right now, after all of that time investment in that, you know, to kind of muscle memory default to, and again, he didn't say exactly this, but basically it was like, Muslims are terrorists. I'm like, dude, that is insane that's your muscle memory default after all of the conversations we've had. And quite frankly, after as intelligent as I know you are, and that's pretty amazing that like you just are now rah Trump everything, because you can't be rah Trump everything. He's not doing everything right. Even on the economic stuff like the tariffs. You know, I will do a deeper dive into the tariffs, but for now, I'm just going to say this and then I'll end this. Even with that, it's like there's no finesse to that game. You know, come in office and say, hey, listen, we're going to go country by country, and we're going to square up. We're going to square up with all these countries, and chances are, you know, they're going to have to step up and they're going to have to increase their imports from the United States, or else we're going to have to put a tariff on in order to, you know, balance out the trade a little. give all these countries, hey, we're going to give you 90 days. We're going to give you 120 days. That's only 3 months or 4 months. And let them show us that, okay, hey, you know what? You're right. We've been the beneficiary of this import-export business with the United States for far too long, and it's time for us to pay up a little bit. And okay, Trump, you win. Solid flex. Thank you for giving us time to adjust, and we'll do it. Imagine if he did that. What that would do was, first of all, that would just show incredible political savviness, in my opinion. And then secondly, you don't have the American consumer struggling the way they are now. I mean, seriously, people are struggling right now. Nothing has changed in 2 months. It's gotten worse. Gas prices are higher. Look at what you're paying for gas this weekend. All right. Anyway, that's it. I will leave you guys there, and I will be back on Friday. Again, I don't know if it'll be an interview or if it'll be me yapping, one of the two. But if you didn't get a chance to listen to Monday, give it a listen, please. And then also, please give the episode with Jeremy a listen, J Slay USA. I think it's really good, and pay particular attention to the way he ended it and what he said about the Trump assassination, because we're going to extrapolate that into even a bigger theme. All right. That's it. That's it, everybody. Call a spade a spade. I'm so curious if anyone's going to try to guess who I was talking about. I think some of you guys might be able to figure it out. We'll see. All right, that's it. Call spade a spade.
That was a great way to end it.
This episode was brought to you by the new book, Deep Shallow Dive Into You, available now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in hardcover and paperback. Don't forget to sign up for our new mailing list on our website at deepshallowdive.com.